but we are taking the tools along the way so that we could come back a lot faster, a lot more effectively, a lot more with love, compassion, those type of things. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Dope Life Podcast, the dopest podcast ever. And I'm, of course, your host, Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach ever. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, and YouTube. We greatly appreciate that. And leave us a rating and review so that our podcast can reach out to many other people just like yourself, trying to live a dope life of self-love, self-improvement, self-confidence, all of that in between. We appreciate that. We do appreciate the support that we get time in and time out. I really want to talk about today, but before we get into it, let's do some deep breathing. My bad. So let's just close out our eyes. If you were driving, keep your eyes on the road. All right, let's do this with your eyes open. Ready to do this 3 times, 3 breaths in through our nostrils and out through our mouth, and you could sigh it out through our mouth. All right, so get comfortable, jig a little bit, relax. So it's in through our nose, sigh it out, in through our nose, sigh it out. Last time, in through our nose, sigh it out. Now we are just going to clear up the energy. If we've had any bad vibes surrounding us, that's a good way. And also it's a great way to stay calm. I've used that so many times, even when I'm driving, just to kind of like remain calm. Not just because of people cut me off, that's not it. But if I'm having day-to-day stressors as well. So if you're new to this podcast, it's the first episode you're tuning in, take that with you. Deep breathing, it's a beautiful thing. Breath work, it's a great thing. So today's episode, I'm definitely going to be tapping into how self-improvement, personal growth, and healing can be sometimes lonely. And there's a chapter where you're going to think that you're a bit lonely. Because now you're more heightened. You're more aware, you're more self-aware, your energy is shifting, the people around you, the ones who care about you will definitely still be riding with you, by the way. Shout out to mine. Love y'all. But you're going to notice some shifts, some big drastic shifts, and some little ones as well. You're going to notice some environments that you no longer fit in. You're going to notice that some people that you no longer are connected to, because you're just seeing life a little bit differently. And you're seeing life in a different set of lens, to so to speak. And you're going to be a bit lonely. But I want you to think about it this way. Because is it that you're lonely, or is it that you're becoming more connected with yourself and with the world and the person that you want to become in your higher self? And that's kind of how I position it. Loneliness is loneliness. Don't get me wrong. We all need connection with others. But at the same time, I had to look at that chapter as, why is this occurring? What would make this chapter occur? And what's going on? So I did a lot of self-reflection in those moments of feeling a bit lonely. A lot of journaling, a lot of video journaling, audio journaling, a lot of meditation, self-awareness practices. A lot of prayer to what was going on. And ultimately, I realized that I'm healing maybe a part of me at that moment that just needed a moment to just be by myself. I didn't need any outside voices. I didn't need any outside influences. I just needed to take a moment and heal on my own. Now, I want also to make something very, very clear. Nobody is healed, but we are always actively healing. And that's just how I see it. Take it out, you want to take it. Because we could always have triggers that come back and that could shift us a little bit. And that's why I say we are actively healing, because those triggers can always come back. But we are taking the tools along the way so that we could come back a lot faster, a lot more effectively, a lot more with love, compassion, those type of things, protecting our energy, And those moments are when we are going through and doing the work, it's not so much as isolation as some of us could think. It's actually preparation. Those moments, I want you to think about a pot of soup or a really good meal or something that's slow cooked. If you are a person that likes brisket, think about that, or smoked chicken, whatever. If you're a person like myself that is Caribbean based and I love oxtail from time to time, it takes a bit of time for you to cook these meals, right? And a lot of patience, preparation, and love that gets poured into it. That is what's happening to you at those moments. The higher ups are pretty much sitting you down so you can have love and just all the goodness poured into you. The self-love, self-compassion, the self-reflection. Notice on the word named self. You were put in those moments not to just isolate, but for preparation for the person you're about to become. Because the person you're about to become, there's certain things that you're not going to accept, and there's certain things that you're going to want, because you're going to be functioning in your higher self. So although it feels lonely, you need to kind of switch your mindset to that. My therapist, shout out to her, she really much said that it's not about you feeling lonely because you're still connected. You're still connected with yourself. You're still connected with others. And the way she said, I'm connected with myself, I said, you hit the nail there, because with me being on my own right now, I've been more connected with myself than I have ever been in my life. So as much as we could sit back and we could think, oh my gosh, I'm so lonely, I get a human interaction. We still need that. We still need it. But I want you also maybe reframe it to thinking, especially when you're going through a moment of healing, is that I am not in a space of isolation, but preparation. This is my season to take care of myself, because like I said, good food tastes good with seasoning. I'm just like, but good food tastes good with seasoning. So this is your season for you to have your seasoning. So allow yourself to stay in preparation. It's not isolation, it's preparation. Another half, I say, towards when it comes towards you working towards yourself, you are gonna, in many ways, not put up with a lot of bullshit. You're not gonna put up with a lot of bullshit from people, from environments, because now you are elevating constantly. So there's certain things that I'll give you an example of what I learned that I don't put up with anymore, and that, since I've started my own personal growth journey and my own, self-healing, all of that, my own life journey. I don't put up with people who don't try when they have the ability to try. Because I understand there's people out there that can't do certain things. Don't get me wrong. There's certain things that I physically cannot do, mentally I cannot do, right? But there's people out there who can do it. But if you could actually try and you're not willing to, personally for me, I can't really be around that. And I know there's so many factors in it, but I mean like the factor of you're just not willing to try because you're just not willing to do it. Yeah, I just can't. Because I believe like if you got the ability to try, but you're just not wanting to try, but you want to, the second half to that is you're not willing to try, you're not wanting to try, but you want to complain. I can't deal with that, because you can do it, but you're choosing not to do it, but you want to complain. So that's just the part where I know from my personal growth, I can't be around that environment anymore. And you're going to find that there's certain environments that you can't even be around anymore neither. And that's okay. You're going to find like, it just doesn't sit with you no more. And it's more because like your energy is changing. The energy that you exude is going to be different. And some people are not even going to like your energy. Some people are not going to like how you've changed, because it benefited how they were able to quite possibly manipulate you. So they don't like the fact that you are constantly growing. And I'm also going to hate to say this, in many cases, it could be your family members. So sorry. But in many cases, it could be the ones that are closest to you. Have you ever find that there's many strangers that will support you, but the closest ones to you will not? Not all the time, but I'm just saying. So when you're you're growing and be prepared for those moments of loneliness. Be prepared of the moments of your energy being shifted, because that will happen. Because people will kind of glorify healing all the time, but to be very honest with you, healing is hard. Healing is not easy. You will lose people along the way. You will lose things along the way. And sometimes, to be very frank, you will lose pieces of you along the way. But part of it, what I learned is, you're not losing it to not benefit you. You're releasing yourself from those things to benefit you the most. So although it's painful sometimes, although it's hard, because you lose a lot, you could lose a lot, it is allowing the dust to completely dust off so that you can live a life of peace and a life of love and a life of joy. So no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that healing is easy, because I'll be straight up lying to you. Healing can be hard. In the word of Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, when he said being in therapy is like taking a shit. And I agreed with him on that, because it is. And healing is literally like you releasing yourself from all the waste that you don't need, the stuff that's holding you down. So you want to heal, you want to grow, by all means. I'm not going to tell you that the other side of it is not beautiful. And then when you look back and you reflect, you understand what you went through and why, but you appreciate the journey even furthermore. But I will tell you that it ain't easy, but man, is it ever worth it. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. Just to recap, we talked about healing overall and what to expect. Not the downside, but the side to be kind of cautious of, which is, losing people along the way and losing things along the way, losing a piece of yourself along the way, but moreover, the loneliness aspect of it all. And I hope this doesn't deter you from going through it, but I want you to understand that, there's sides to everything. So that's the side that a lot of people probably don't talk about, but it does occur. If you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to my podcast, leave a rating and review, share it with your family and friends so we can get it out there. If you know someone that could utilize this episode right now, send it to them, share it to them, and add this to your IG story. Tag me in it at @DopeLifeCoach_ or at @DopeLifePod. By all means, I appreciate that. The links are in the bio that you can find me, and you could also follow me as well. And as always, my name is Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach out there. And you know what? Just walk with peace and walk with love.